Go.
Alright, hello everyone, my name is Jacob. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about float tanks and the sensory deprivation that comes with them. So have any of you ever heard of float tanks, sensory deprivation tanks, or isolation tanks? That's about what I expected. How about you guys? So I'm going to start with the history, going to move into the community, and then finish it off with the mental powers gained. So to start, John C. Lilly, this guy right here, he invented the first float tank. Oh wait, hold up. This comes from northwestfloatcenter.org, written by Brooks in 2011. So anyway, John C. Lilly, he in 1954 wanted to test the conscious mind and how it would react to being cut off from all stimuli, and to see if it would remain lively, and it did. So from sensory deprivation, or from science experiments to spiritual experiments, people, they've moved from trying to see what happens from being locked in a tank to explaining the mind from being in the tank. So an article from the New York Times written by a man with the last name Schmidt in 1989 did an interview with a lady by the name of Alison Whitaker, who was a tank owner for over 10 years. And she described her experience between hot tubs and sensory deprivation tanks. And what she said was, with hot tubs, it's a social experience. You're floating with friends, while float tanks, which they're called today, I gotta say that, they're more of a spiritual experience where you're usually floating alone. So from spiritual experiences to mental powers gained, a article from Robbie Gonzalez from the wearethefuture.com, written in 2011. He did a report on users of float tanks, and what they experienced while being in them is increased senses like smelling, hearing, tasting, all that, and as well as I'm just going to skip past what that was. And then they also experience increased theta brainwaves and decreased alpha brainwaves, which are common in sleeping and meditation. So it's basically like you're having some intense meditation being in a float tank. And I hope you guys learned a little bit about the float tanks from my little thing here today. And even though it may still seem like a little bit odd to step into a float tank, 9-foot float tank filled with water and Epsom salt, just stand there alone, floating. Many people see it as they see it as a commune, like an escape from their personal lives, their work life, their family life, and their school life. So something I'd like you guys to check out, Joe Rogan, he has a podcast where he talks about his experience with float tanks. And in his podcast, he just tells how he prepares his comedy material, because he's a comedian as well. And what he does, he says that he kind of writes down what he's thinking about on a piece of paper, leaves that aside, gets in his float tank, and then just lets his thoughts go and see where it takes him, sees them from different points of view and stuff. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you.